Hello, hello, hello. This is Talk to Me with Eugene Williams Jr. Once again, I have a fantastic guest. Every week that we talk with people, the guests get more and more noteworthy. Let's say that. I want to talk to you about this young lady because uh, we go back to the early 1980s. I met her through a friend of mine that I went to school with, the late Gretchen Graham. I met this young lady through her family. And I was so excited to hear this most recent news about her. And I said, when it came to pass, I have to have her on my show. So let me tell you about her. I'm going to read off her credentials because they are so extensive. So let's get that straight. First of all, she earned a bachelor's degree in English and history from Emory University. We attended there together for some time. I graduated from there in 91. I believe she graduated from there in 92. She has a master's degree in history from the University of Florida, go Gators. And she earned a PhD degree from the University of Pennsylvania. She is the author of Deep Roots, Rice Farmers in West Africa and the African Diaspora, and co-editor of Rice, Global Networks and New Histories. She is also a producer. She is the executive producer and librettist of Unburied, Unmourned, Unmarked, Requiem for Rice with three-time Emmy Award-winning classical music composer John Weinglass. She has worked as a consultant for the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. I call it the Blacksonian. She is a consultant for the International African American Museum and the Senator John Hines History Center. She and her family live in Pittsburgh, where she teaches history at Carnegie Mellon University and serves as director of the Dietrich College Humanities Center. Now, the most important thing about her, those are all great things about her. But one of the most amazing things about her is that she is, not was, not going to be, she is the 2025 Pulitzer Prize-winning author of, and make sure I'm pronouncing this right, Combé? Combee. All right. Harriet Tubman and the Combee River Raid and Black Freedom during the Civil War. Pulitzer Prize winning author. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do like we always do and give her a Don Cornelius Soul Train welcome. We're going to get together, put our hands together and give it all up for Dr. Edda Fields-Black. Edda, what's going on?
Hey, Gene, how are you?
I am amazing now that you are here. Let me just tell you, I'm honored that you would appear on the podcast. I have recently been following your career. And I just want to tell you, whenever you meet somebody from home who is doing great things, you have to push them out there and let more people know. A lot of people know about you, but I want to let even more people know about you because I'm so proud to know you. So let's get right into the interview. Number one, Emory University, Florida, UPenn. What took us from those places to becoming a Pulitzer Prize-winning author on African culture, African American culture? How did we get here?
Well, I would say we got here through the rice fields.
Okay. Talk to me about the rice fields.
Yeah, so rice is the thread, I think, that connects all of my work. And rice is the thread that connects me to my family history. My father was the last of his siblings to be born in Green Pond, South Carolina, and which is today we would call it part of the Gullah Geechee corridor. So I grew up in Miami, as did you, with Bahamian immigrants on my mom's side and Gullah Geechee migrants on my dad's side.
Wow,
And
that's a lot of island influence right there.
exactly.
For all my Miami listeners, she's one of we.
Yeah.
I got the comforters and the boiled fish waiting after the interview's over,
And add a little Hoppin' John and we're ready to go.
ready to roll.
There are not that many people that I encountered today who knew me from Miami. So that's a treat. Oh, goodness. So I was always curious about this dialect that my grandparents spoke, and we would go up every summer to take my grandmother back to visit her mother. I got to know my great grandmother. I got to know cousins, aunties, uncles, and was just very curious. And that was our summer, that was our family vacation, going to South Carolina to visit my great grandmother.
Right.
So that translated into me getting to Emory and reading my history professor, Dr. Jim Rourke. When he found out where I was from, I had a whole nother reading list, right? I had the syllabus and I had the reading list. And he's constantly giving me books about the Gullah Geechee, and I just ate them up.
Sure.
So from that point, this is what I wanted to study. And I wanted to know more about the West African connections between the Gullah Geechee, in the Gullah
Mm,
Geechee, the
okay.
West
Okay.
African influences. So that's where I started the story. And I chose rice really as the vehicle through which to examine this relationship, and started in West Africa in the rice growing regions of Sierra Leone and then Guinea, and really trying to understand more about the background, the ingredients that went into the Gullah Geechee, as it related to rice culture, and then expanding into the South Carolina and Georgia Lowcountry and rice and slavery, in that region.
Wow. So when you did that, people go on these historical journeys about their backgrounds and their histories. Everybody goes through their 23andMe period, and they have to figure out who they are. And, we all do that when they come from, especially as African Americans,
Yeah.
especially at this time. And so
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out, in the course of learning about your people, your folks, your roots, what did you learn about yourself? Was there some connection or something you say or something you do or a way you act that you're like, oh, I get that from this, or how did that work out for you?
That is really an interesting question. So, my father's family, the Fields family,
Right.
are serious outdoorsmen.
Mm,
Okay. I'm
okay.
talking about hunting
Okay.
in the deer stand every day, all day
Okay.
long. My
Okay.
my cousins are there, most of them are retired now. So I mean, guns, snakes, deer, all the gear, the hunting
It's
dogs.
funny. It's funny that you say that because I live in a rural area, so I have a lot of friends like that too. But they ain't Gullah.
These, but they don't play.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
They don't play. And most people, if you look at me, you would never know that I have really become an outdoors woman.
Wait, time out, Edda, Edda, stop. Now wait a minute, slow down, because I knew you win. You became you became an outdoors person. I paid money to see it. I paid money to see it. Okay, we have to we have to we had to pursue that line of questioning later. 'Cause that's a whole other show. With your fatigues on and your sidearm and your okay.
Okay. Now my sidearm to date is a knife. I got a hunting knife, and it's not very big.
Okay, David Crockett.
It's designed for the alligators
Okay.
so that they will remember my name.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not
I got you.
designed to really do any more damage than that. But I being an Africanist, being trained as an Africanist, we do field work. So I was running around in the rice fields in West Africa for decades. Then when I went to South Carolina, and started sort of figuring out the book that I was going to write on the South Carolina side, being a transnational historian, got in with a group of scientists, and we were running around the rice fields in the Ace Basin. And these guys, one of them used to hunt. Our properties are back to back. My uncle's property and his property grew up together, white guy,
Yeah.
and hunted with my uncle, patriarch of our family, grew up
Mhm.
hunting deer with him. So now I'm running around the rice fields with him and putting together a team of scientists. You got the shotgun in the back, you got the boots on, you got the whole thing.
Wow.
And then I met John Weinglass and pulled him in. So I'm in the field with the artists and the scientists.
Okay.
And you know, then COVID happens, and I really
Right.
needed to get outside. So then I
Mhm.
get into hiking and
Okay.
kayaking and canoeing, and I'm a dragon boater. I'm a regular
Okay.
outdoor girl. We just got back from Montana like Wednesday, 2 days ago.
All right.
The whole family went to Montana. People said, "How are you going to celebrate the Pulitzer Prize?" I said, "I'm going fishing." I went fly fishing in Montana after shooting a podcast about Cumbie. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go fly fishing. This was on my bucket list.
Now, I'm glad that you brought that up. I want to share with listeners a few things. You see the diversity of African American culture. We are everywhere.
Exactly.
We are everywhere. We're in
Exactly.
Miami. We are in the Carolinas. We are even in Montana
Uh-huh.
fly fishing. Fly fishing, ladies and gentlemen.
Fly
So when we talk
fishing.
about American culture, it transcends races. It
Yeah.
transcends nationalities. I'm
Yep.
just so I just glow on hearing about this. I'm just picturing you in all these different situations. It's it's like an adventure movie waiting to happen. But I want to go a little further now. So you've done this research. You've achieved these great heights in terms of your research. What were your earliest influences in terms of deciding I'm going to become a historian? I'm going to become a person that documents different cultures and and how they connect to overall history. Who were your earliest influences? Things of that
M-
nature.
My earliest influence is my mother, who is a historian, who's an archivist, who founded a community archives that preserves Black history of South Florida. And when you
Hmm.
think about Black history of South Florida, our family is a perfect example. You have immigrants and you have migrants,
Yep.
right? People who came from other parts of the South, typically South Carolina, people who came from Latin America and the Caribbean. Now you have African immigrants. So, the history of all of those groups of people are preserved at the Black Archives of Research Foundation of South Florida. And my mom is the founder. So when we were growing up, we were surrounded by it.
Yes.
And I remember we got an allowance, but I remember earning pocket money, extra money, two ways to earn pocket money. Number one, um, collecting oral histories. Mom would give us a legal pad and a tape recorder,
Right.
and she would write
Right.
the questions down on the legal pad. And we lived on, there were 3 blocks back to back of mom's relatives. Okay. Bahamian immigrants. They bought plots of land in Brownsville, and she would
Brown sub.
Brown sub. Yep. She would open the door and say, go to Uncle so and so's house, go to Aunt so and so's house, turn on the tape recorder and ask them these questions.
Yes.
And after a while, and I'm like 8 years old, right? Old enough not to drop kick the tape recorder, old enough to actually bring it home in one piece. And
Right.
after a while, after listening to my mother's aunts and uncles, I had my own questions about their lives,
Sure.
right? So I'm becoming a historian unbeknownst to me. The other way we earned pocket money, we did mass mailings for the archives. If you could stuff the envelopes, lick them, stamp them, address them, that was money right there.
Yes. Good old days. The good old days.
Yep, yep, yep.
So when we're thinking about that, and your mother's influence and the experiences talking to folks in the neighborhood about where they come from and all of those things, um, let's move that into the now. So years have passed, decades have passed. You are an acclaimed historian now, and that type of acclaim takes a journey and years to get to. So in that journey, what have been the high points and what have been some of the drawbacks?
I think that the high points are these moments when conducting research, when you actually find something,
Yes.
you know? And
Mhm.
it's fun now that the project is out and it's published and it's winning awards because when I'm looking back primarily at those moments.
Right.
The drawbacks were the long periods between those moments when you weren't
Okay.
finding anything.
Gotcha.
And I was questioning, what am I doing? Why am
Yes.
I doing this?
Right.
How much longer am I going to continue doing
To
it
wait out here
if
and
I
look for
don't
this stuff
find
before something comes
something?
through. In that downtime, though, um, do you think that you sacrificed anything that you missed out on in all those years of making these achievements? Because as we get older, we think about all the things we've done and how wonderful they are, and we're proud of ourselves for doing that, as we should be.
Right.
But is there anything that you sacrificed or lost in the course of getting to this point?
Yeah. I I mean, I lost a lot of sleep. Particularly in the beginning, I lost
Sure,
sleep.
sure.
You miss time with your family.
Hmm.
You miss time with your family. I miss time watching my children grow up.
Sure,
There's time that was missed in that.
sure.
Um, I guess those are the things that I think about the most
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
being
like I
away
said,
from home.
we think about the achievements, but then there's always some sacrifice to to whom much is given, much is required. And so I think in everybody's story that I've talked to, one of the things that they've recognized is to get to this goal, I had to, do some things that I wish I could have done differently.
Yeah.
But that's for all of us. So now
Mhm.
let's go a little further. So it is now 2025.
Mhm.
You've been in the rice fields. You've done the research. You've talked to the people. You've produced. You've been a producer, a writer, a historian. If I talk to Dr. Edda Fields-Black in 10 years, where does she expect to be? What does she expect to have accomplished in that time? Or what is she thinking about? Where is she thinking about being? What is she thinking about accomplishing? What's her next? Where are her next steps?
Yeah, that's a great question. 10 years from now.
Or
Um,
maybe five. Doesn't have to be 10.
okay. I'm really interested in artistic interpretations of Combie
Okay.
and having worked with, the museum, the National Museum, worked with John Weinglass. Working now with J. Henry Fair, who's a photographer. I'm interested in, and this is part of what I do, getting history off the shelf and putting it on stage, I call it. So I want to put Cumbie on stage or on the big screen, right? Or the small screen even. I'm interested in artistic interpretations of it. I hesitate to say this because I'm not committing to it yet, but I have another
It's a
book
safe
in me.
space, Edda. Don't hesitate. It's a safe space, Edda. Come on now.
I have at least another book in me.
Of course you do.
And, the research for that, I'm sort of starting to think about putting it together. And so if you're looking at 10 years, hopefully you're looking at another book.
Okay.
Um, Probably, I'm really interested in these US Civil War pension files. And
Mm.
yeah, they're the backbone of Cumbie. And, I keep saying this and hoping that somebody is going to pick it up. They allow millions of African Americans who, like myself, are descendant of U.S. colored troops, soldiers, or veterans or widows, to
Okay.
identify our enslaved ancestors.
Okay.
So I want to continue to the next project. I'll continue to explore the pension files and kind of force the history of slavery and the history of the Civil War, to be rewritten. Um,
I love it.
yeah, and I want to bring those voices out, and I want to bring those voices to life. So let's say an artistic interpretation of Cumbie or two, and another book in 10 years. I'll go with 10 years.
That's a lot. That's a lot in 10 years. That's that people think that's not much. That's a whole lot to cover in ten
That's a
years.
lot. Yeah, it's a
But
lot.
let me ask you this too, and I don't want to get too political,
Mm-hmm.
but it's on my mind. And we know each other, and you know that we Miami black Miami natives, we're not afraid to say what's on our mind at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know what we're going through right now as a country in terms of our leadership
Yes.
and in terms of the, I don't want to say attacks, but in terms of the what it feels like a pushing back when it comes to us realizing our history. It seems like people are trying to put our history on the back burner,
Mm-hmm.
without realizing that without our history, there is no American history.
Yeah.
Um, how do you and your colleagues feel about what's going on right now in terms of this whole idea that if we eliminate Black history, that somehow translates into greater, you know, national unity somehow, some ridiculous theory.
Well, I definitely view these as attacks. And I view it as an attempt of erasure, right? And
Right.
rewriting this narrative of, that only focuses on, a very narrow definition of patriotism, um, and only highlights the achievements and the blah, blah, blah. It's very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dangerous. And it's just an erasure, and doesn't allow it wouldn't allow this country to do what it needs to do to actually learn from history, to
Yes.
heal,
Yes.
to come together, and then to move on and build a better nation, to finally achieve the democratic ideals of the
Mm.
country. And this has
Mm.
been an ongoing project for the last 249 years. Going to be
Yes.
250 in next year.
And counting. And counting.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
it's an ongoing project, and it subverts that project, but at the same time, I've been pleased, I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but the pushback, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
pushback that this project is receiving, by everyday people, certainly by historians, but also by institutions like the Pulitzer Prize, institutions like the Gilda Lehrman Institute. Cumby won the Lincoln Prize also, the best book that for 2024 that causes a reexamination of the Civil War.
Talk that talk, Edda. Talk that talk.
And we're
Let 'em
talking
know.
another Civil War prize. Okay.
Right.
The Tom
Right.
Watson Brown Book Award, Junior Book Award. So the Civil War historians, who are traditionally, they're some of the most stodgy of the bunch, they are reckoning with this history. And guess what? We're not going back. So for organizations, institutions, individuals to say, we're not going backwards. We're actually stronger together. We're stronger when we tell the whole story, not
Yes.
part of it. I think ultimately we're going to win.
Well, here's the thing, Edda. When you're talking to old friends and you're enjoying yourself, a half hour sneaks up on you faster than you wanted to. I want to tell you, number one, thank you for coming on today. I appreciate you for that.
My
I
pleasure.
also want to tell you how proud I am of you. Not only as an African American male, but as a fellow native Miamian, as a son of Dade County,
Dade County.
as a son of Cat Island in the Bahamas.
Hey.
Yes. I'm going to hold you to it. If we ever run into each other again, we're going to have the boiled fish sandwich with the kung fritter for the bread. But you had some Miami reference, y'all. If y'all from Miami, you know about that. You know nothing
And
about that.
don't forget to put the Nassau butter on top.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just want to tell you that I'm grateful for what you're doing. I'm grateful for what you have done. I want you to keep being a leading voice in terms of making America realize the contributions of African Americans and Africans, whether it be South Carolina, whether it be Florida, wherever it is. Because once again, like I said, you don't have American history without African American history. You just don't have it.
That's right.
You just don't have it.
That's
so, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my honor to be talking to Dr. Edda Fields-Black, the excellent, the extremely intelligent, the amazing, the knowledgeable Dr. Edda Fields-Black. This has been Talk to Me with Eugene Williams Jr. Be blessed and have a great one.